This story begins in 2012. We are told that due to the collapse of America's economy, the government has handed over the responsibility of all the city's prisons to private companies, who then exploit them for their own profit. We are then shown one such prison, Terminal Island, where the company forces the inmates into a deadly car race, a race called the death race. Afterward, we are shown the same death race in this prison, where only 2 cars remain. In one of the cars was a man named Frankenstein and his navigator, Case. In the other car was another racer named Joey. Frankenstein was about to win the race, but suddenly all his weapons stopped working, and Joey was continuously firing bullets at Frank's car. Frank told Case to get out of the car quickly, as it could explode at any moment. Case, following Frank's advice, escapes using a parachute. However, Joey launches another attack on Frank's car from behind, causing it to explode. The scene then shifts, revealing the story's main character, Jason Ames, who works at a large factory in his hometown. Jason has finished his work and returned home. He greets his wife and goes to check on his 6-year-old daughter. But then a masked man bursts into his house and kills his wife. Hearing the noise, Jason comes downstairs and finds only his wife's corpse. Before Jason can react, the killer sprays Jason's face with a spray bottle, rendering him unconscious. Before leaving, the murderer handed Jason a knife and signaled him to the door. But when Jason woke up a short while later, the police had already arrived. They mistook Jason for his wife's murderer. He was arrested and sent to Terminal Island, where a guard sprayed him with high-pressure water from a hose. The next day, while all the prisoners were having breakfast, some prison thugs approached Jason and began harassing him for no reason. This angered Jason and he immediately began beating them all up. However, some prison guards arrived and broke up the fight. Jason was then brought to the prison warden, whose name was Warden Hennessy. When the warden looked at Jason's file, he discovered that Jason was once a very good car racer. Upon learning this, the warden made Jason a special offer to become the new Frankenstein, as the original Frankenstein had been killed during a previous car race, but no one knew about his death. The warden then explains that after Frankenstein's death, the TRPs of their show had dropped significantly, as the entire United States loved him so much. But the good news is that Frank always wore a mask, and even if the person hidden behind the mask changed, no one would know. According to prison rules, Frank had won 4 races in total, and now he only had to win the last race, which would secure his release from prison. Jason now had to win this last race to become Frank. Despite this, he declined the offer. The warden tells him, "You're doing this not for me, but for your daughter." Now, with no other option, Jason accepts the offer to become Frank. Jason is then introduced to the coach and his team, who previously modified and repaired Frank's car. There, we also see a unique workshop where the warden's men were busy creating something special. Here, the coach shows Jason his car, which is equipped with dangerous weapons. However, these weapons were only allowed to be used on race day so that no prisoner could use them to escape. Escape from this prison was completely impossible, as it was located right in the middle of the ocean, and access required crossing a narrow bridge. But despite this, if any prisoner tried to escape, police vehicles and helicopters would intercept them. Coach then teaches Jason the rules of the death race and helps him identify some of the participants. Meanwhile, Joey approaches Coach and tells him that even though Frank escaped last time, this time he will definitely kill him. Amidst this conversation, Jason notices 2 prisoners wearing tracking devices. Seeing this, Jason remembers that the man who killed his wife also had a similar device on his hand. This means the murderer is one of these prisoners. Days pass like this, and the day of the race arrives. On the day of the race, Jason is made to wear Frank's mask and clothing. This brought Death Race's popularity back to the public, and the live stream audience was enjoying it even more. But now, as Jason was about to drive, the coach told him he couldn't talk to anyone, as the real Frank did the same. He also told him he could remove his mask once in the car, as the windows were completely blacked out, so that no one can see him. Now, Case, who was Frank's navigator, also gets into the car with Jason. The race begins, with all the players trying to outrun each other. They bump into each other and try to eliminate each other. During the race, Case tells Jason a shortcut, which Jason takes to get ahead. During the race, the warden initiates a round of attack and defense. As soon as this begins, 3 types of markings appear on the road. Selecting the sword marking activates all the vehicle's weapons, and if someone chooses the shield, black smoke begins to billow from the vehicle. However, if a player's vehicle passes over the skull, their vehicle will be crushed. As soon as this rule is implemented, everyone starts firing at each other, and Jason also activates his weapon by selecting the sword. But then his weapons jam. Kes gets out of the car to check them. Seeing Kes, everyone starts firing at him. But Jason saves him. Now that Frank was leading the race, Joey kept firing at him. But Jason's weapons weren't working, which surprised even the coach, as the same thing had happened to the real Frank. Now Jason's car starts getting damaged due to Joey's bullets. But another car comes and hits Joey's car, giving Jason a chance to overtake. But another car approaches Jason's car, and the player inside makes the same gesture to Jason that his wife's killer did. This means that the man inside, named Pachaco, is his wife's murderer. But then, Joey hits Jason's car, overtakes him, and crosses the crossing line. By the end of the race, only 6 cars remain. Joey is in first place, and Jason is at the back. After the race, Jason goes straight to the warden and declares that he won't race anymore because he's found his wife's murderer. He also realizes that he was tricked into coming to prison so that the death race could find a new Frankenstein. But the warden is unfazed, threatening Jason that if he quits, he might never see his daughter again. Jason is forced to continue the race. That night, while Jason is repairing his car, he spots Pachenko and goes after him. Suddenly, Pachenko's team attacks Jason. While Pachenko is washing Jason, a man from Jason's team arrives and stabs him in the neck. Jason attacks him again, begins hitting everyone, and finally admits that he killed Jason's wife at the warden's behest. Jason is about to kill him, but the guards arrive, and the fight is stopped. The next day, the next round of the race begins. Pachenko makes the same gesture again, but this time, Jason remains calm. As the race begins, Jason slows down the car. Then, he asks Case, "Did you take part in killing Frank?" When Jason threatens to throw him out of the car, Case tells the truth. The warden had the weapons disabled so that Frank would lose the race and stay in jail, maintaining TRP. After realizing everything, Jason drives the car at full speed. He quickly catches up to Pachenko and starts ramming his car. Jason accelerates the car and selects the sword symbol, activating the weapons. Now, Jason reverses the car and opens fire on Pachenko. After a brief exchange of fire, he straightens the car and releases smoke from the rear, causing Pachenko to lose sight and crash his car. Jason also stops the car and gets out wearing Frank's mask. He breaks Pachenko's neck and kills him, thus avenging his wife's death. The warden brings a heavy tanker truck to the race, which she had been preparing behind the scenes. It is packed with dangerous weapons. The truck blows up several cars as it arrives. In the end, only Jason and Joey survive. Jason realizes that he cannot defeat the truck alone. So he suggests joining Joey and going for a ride. Joey agrees, and they both try to hit the truck, but it doesn't have any noticeable effect on the truck. They then formulate a plan. They go through the skull path. A large wall comes in front of the truck. It is badly crushed, and with this, the second round of the race officially ends. That evening, while Jason is repairing his car, Joey approaches him. Joey stares at him and tells him that his voice is very similar to Frank, the man he spoke to during the race. Now Joey understands that the real Frank is dead, and Jason is racing under a new identity. But Joey remains silent. He doesn't ask anything and quietly walks away. At that moment, Jason also understands that everything is out in the open. But he prepares for further planning. Meanwhile, Hennessy hatches a plan to ensure Jason is not left alive. She has a powerful bomb fitted to his car, blowing it up mid-race. Jason realizes that no one has ever won this race and gotten out of jail, and Hennessy won't let him win either. Therefore, he instructs his team to fill the car's reserve tank with fuel and make some special preparations. The explosive and thrilling movie ends here. The next morning, as Jason prepares for the race, Hennessy approaches him, presenting him with his release papers. She tells him that even if he wins, he will have to continue racing as Frank to maintain the show's TRPs. Jason remains silent and doesn't respond. As they get into the car, Case tells him the truth. Hennessy told her to ensure Jason wins the race. But Jason refuses to stop. As soon as the race starts, he accelerates to full speed. Hennessy activates only Joey's weapons. Joey fires without thinking. Jason narrowly escapes, but his courage remains intact. Then Joey activates the rocket launcher. But the rocket accidentally hits a large wall. The wall cracks with a force, and the two escape through it. This was actually their plan to break through the prison walls and find freedom. Driven by rage, Hennessy activates the bomb planted in Jason's car. But Coach and his team have already removed the bomb. Hennessy quickly sends police cars and helicopters after them. Then Jason leaks his reserve fuel, creating a massive fireball that brings all the vehicles to a halt. Jason and Joey cross a bridge and take different routes, confusing the police. The helicopters only pursue Jason because catching him is more important to them. Case also decides to help because Hennessy has betrayed her as well. She takes the driver's seat, and Jason, seeing an opportunity, jumps out of the car. He hides further in the darkness while the helicopters are focused on him. Case takes the car in a different direction, confusing the police. Jason quietly goes to Joe. They board a train together. Meanwhile, helicopters stop Case's car. Case then puts on Frank's mask, gets out, and surrenders to the police. Hennessy and his team think they've caught the real Jason. But, in reality, it's Case. While they're celebrating, a gift box arrives. As they open the gift, it contains the same bomb that Hennessy had planted in Jason's car. Coach had sent that bomb back. Coach immediately presses the remote button, destroying Hennessy and his entire plan in a huge explosion. Days pass. Jason and Joey open a garage together. They both begin a new life. Jason also gets his daughter back.